To escape fear, you have to go through it, not around it. Richie Norton. My name is Stephen Gonzalez, and I've worked in healthcare for almost 10 years now. I would like to begin with a warning. I'm going to be talking about death and motor vehicle accidents, so if that's too much for you, I suggest stopping here. My inspiration for who I've become today actually came from a pretty traumatic event I had as a kid. And my inspiration is drawn from my discomfort with confronting death. I guess that this is supposed to be a more positive inspiration, but I'd be doing myself a disservice to say something along the lines of, oh, I just want to help people, which is true, but not the whole story. Okay, so you're probably thinking that this kid is some weird edgelord that's going to talk to us about him being a mortician and that he has some bodies hidden behind him in his closet or something. No, I promise I'm not Dexter or anything. I am currently a dental assistant. I have worked numerous jobs in the trauma and emergency medicine, but I'll come back to that. So the initial thing that inspired me to get into medicine was actually a little traumatic at the time. I grew up in a very small town in Southern California that I will put money on none of you have ever heard of. I was about 14 at the time. My dad, I, and a friend of mine were going to a neighboring city to get some food. And this street is very dark, very long. There's no street lights or anything. And I see something on the side of the road. I tell my dad, hey, there's something there. We should go turn around and check it out. When we turn around, what we saw was a mangled body. And the first things that I encountered feeling-wise was, of course, fear and anger. Soon, overwhelmed the fear. And it wasn't anger at what had happened to the person, but actually anger at myself for not being able to do anything and not being able to move, just feeling paralyzed by fear. By fear. So fast forward about 4 years, and just out of high school, trying to figure out my life, what I'm gonna do. I have no idea, and I'm depressed, and I'm watching Grey's Anatomy, which I'm sure all of us have done at some point in their lives. And it gets to the episode where they introduce the amazing Dr. Owen Hunt, and he is the awesome army surgeon who does whatever he can with whatever's available, and he says, screw the rules, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, you know the type. Well, I loved that idiot. That was a terrible character. And sure enough, a few months later, I enlisted into the Army as a 6-8 whiskey or combat medic. So actually, I think I was pretty lucky with my time in the Army. I went to a very highly regarded and honored unit with a lot of very smart and hardworking mentors that would teach me everything that I had wanted to know when I was that scared 14-year-old kid. And it started my love for healthcare in general. I got into a lot of situations that really tested that fear again, and I do feel like I've overcome it. I found that I'm actually really good at trauma medicine and high stress environments. However, after about 4 years of doing that, what really started to bother me was not the high stress or anything like that, just a lack of focus that I felt like I could never master everything. I felt like a jack of all trades and a master of none, and I felt like I would never know enough to help enough people. So to satisfy that feeling, I turned to Google. And I Googled healthcare jobs with the best future growth rate. And of course, that was dentistry. So I came to the dental field, and it's way more relaxing and way more focused. I do really love it. And I love the people that I work with and the people that I work for, which is super important. But to recap, the experiences I've had with death and stress in general have made the stressful situations that I have in my job now seem leisurely and just easy. I'm very rarely stressed because I can go back to the more stressful times and think, well, yeah, it's bad right now, but nobody's dying. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm very, very thankful for all the experiences I had, all the inspirations I've had, despite how weird they are. And I'm very thankful for you listening to me today and letting me talk your ear off. Thank you very much.